like a church in here, so since you came. Good afternoon. I'm Paul Wiedefeld, Secretary of Transportation for Maryland. Thank you for joining us at MTA's Eastern Bus Division, which will be very soon be one of the first zero-emission bus facilities in the U.S. Thank you, Governor. As you know, with Governor Westmore and Lieutenant Governor Aruna Miller, Maryland has two committed leaders to making bold moves to sustain and improve the environment. With their support, MTA will rebuild this facility to support electric bus operations and provide the best facilities to our dedicated employees. I also want to thank MTA's management team and the men and women of our labor union partners who maintain and build our transportation system. We're so excited to have you all here today, and that Governor Moore has chosen transportation to be the front and center in this announcement that's going to create career-making, family-sustaining jobs for all Marylanders. As Governor Moore will further describe, the workforce commitments today span across 4 Maryland Department of Transportation modes: the Maryland Transit Administration, the Maryland Aviation Administration, the State Highway Administration, and the Maryland Toll Authority. These opportunities will also directly benefit Marylanders in 5 jurisdictions: Baltimore City, Anne Arundel County, Baltimore County, Montgomery, and Prince George's counties. And this is just the beginning. Throughout the Baltimore region and the entire state, MDOT is making significant investments in infrastructure. With these investments, we will transform and uplift communities that we serve, providing training opportunities and high-quality jobs for Marylanders. We will also flex federal dollars to provide job training to bring new workers into the skilled trades every year. With Governor Moore's leadership, minority business enterprises will remain critical to the delivery of MDOT projects. And with job training, increased mobility, and greater access to education and employment centers, the people who live near our major infrastructure projects will benefit more ways than one. Investing in communities and promoting high-quality jobs, that's how we're going to achieve Governor Moore's vision to make this Maryland's decade. Now, I'd like to introduce a key partner in making this happen, Maryland's Secretary of Labor, Secretary Will.
Thank you, Secretary Wiedefeld. It is wonderful to be here today. I think of this as the exclamation point, no, make that the triple exclamation point on a really wonderful week, National Apprenticeship Week. In the state of Maryland, we have over 11,000 registered apprentices today, and over 10,000 of those are in the skilled building trades. We had over 30 events this week, and I have to say I felt very privileged to see firsthand and meet with a lot of the young people who are the future of our state and of the skilled trades and of our communities. It's given me a chance to see how much technology is advancing and how important it will be to make sure young people are learning the state of the art. But I have to say one thing. As amazing as technology is, as much as ChatGPT can do, you cannot do work without workers. You cannot do labor without the laborers. You cannot build the great roads, bridges, and tunnels of our state without the skilled building trades. We are fortunate to have these once-in-a-generation investments from the federal government, but we need to make sure that these investments are made in a way that not only builds our physical infrastructure, but our human infrastructure as well, in a way that reflects our values and priorities as a state. And so today's order, by supporting project labor agreements, apprenticeship programs, and community benefit agreements, will do just that. At Maryland Department of Labor, we are committed to not just talking the talk, but walking the walk. We're committed to standing shoulder to shoulder with MDOT and our sister agencies, DGS, and all of state government to make sure these investments open doors of opportunity to good jobs and our commitments become a reality. That means ensuring contractors have the skilled workers they need to do quality work on time and under budget. It means ensuring employees have a good path to good paying jobs, with high labor standards and safe working conditions. And it means dedicating our own departmental resources to making sure these opportunities are available to Marylanders in all communities. Finally, it means working with you as partners to ensure a fair playing field, to make sure workers are paid the wages they are owed, and make sure everyone is and to make sure everyone is safe on the job, so every worker can return home safe and sound to their families at night. So it is my great pleasure to now introduce one of our strong partners in this work, Greg Ackerman of the Baltimore Washington Building Trades Council.
Good afternoon, sisters and brothers. My name is Greg Ackerman. I am proud to serve as the president of the Baltimore DC Metro Building Trades Council, representing 28 local unions and more than 30,000 members strong. I'm honored to be here with you all today, and especially grateful to have with us Secretary Wiedefeld, Secretary Wu, Comptroller Learman, Lieutenant Governor Miller, and Governor Moore. As I look around the room, I see many familiar faces, members represented by a number of our trades. I see electricians, plumbers, pipe fitters, carpenters, laborers. Are there any laborers here today? Sheet metal workers, insulators, iron workers, bricklayers, and many more. And I also see our sisters and brothers at ATU. I see the men and women ready to get to work to build and revitalize infrastructure in the great state of Maryland. The work that we're talking about isn't just a job. These are careers that empower workers, set up entire families for success, and benefit generations to come. Our children deserve schools that stay warm during the winter and cool during the summer. Our residents deserve roads that don't crack and bridges that don't collapse. The people in this room, union members from across the trades, tackle all this and more. They help ensure our drinking water is clean and safe, and that our streetlights work as Maryland's children head home from playing outside. To be sure, our members didn't find these careers by chance. We are talking about the most talented, skilled workforce the world has ever seen. Hardworking men and women who put in thousands of hours of training, both on the job and classes at our joint apprenticeship training centers. Their education and training is second to none. And the trades, the local unions, provide this training so our members can do the work effectively and safely. Safety, both worker safety and the safety of those around us, is always top of mind. And the only thing our members have asked for in return is family-sustaining wages, health care for themselves and their family, retirement security, a safe work site, and dignity on the job. So when we learned that Governor Moore would be announcing an executive order on project labor agreements, ensuring that our public tax dollars fund infrastructure that lasts and puts Marylanders to work in the process, we were thrilled. Governor, as you know, we're proud of the work that we do. Our members drive by projects that they've completed, and they're proud to say, I built that. This is a good day for workers. And that said, everyone in this room understands that the infrastructure challenges of the next decade will be complex. These jobs won't be easy, which is why we have to come together and be sure that our workforce is adequately trained and prepared. We have to commit to building infrastructure that our kids and grandkids will be proud of 10 years from now. And we should be able to look back at the investments that we've made in schools and roads and bridges and hospitals and clean energy technologies. And we need to say with pride, we built that. And not only built that, we built that as we gave Marylanders the training and career opportunities and family-sustaining wages and health care and pensions that they deserve. And project labor agreements will help leverage the over $60 million that our building trades unions spend annually for the benefit of Marylanders seeking careers in the construction industry. Governor, think about the industries that we tout in this country. Manufacturing comes to mind. The only reason that people think about manufacturing jobs as good jobs is because of the high union density in that sector. Before mass organizing, you didn't want to set foot in an auto plant, let alone work in one. And construction is the same. We think of construction as a good middle-class career because we've all been fighting to keep it that way through our local unions. And today, we're thanking you for your help. You see that project labor agreements will help keep construction as a good middle-class career with endless possibilities. Graduating from Department of Labor accredited training debt-free and a great sense of upward mobility, workers can become foremen, superintendents, or they can own their own company. And I can tell you that the workers in this room are excited. Aren't we excited? We are excited to work together to reach in our communities and recruit more Marylanders into high-quality apprenticeship programs. And what's more, we are committed to seeking robust local hiring policies with a focus on underserved frontline communities in any project labor agreement that we negotiate with a contractor in Maryland. There are too many success stories in the audience today. Too many union members who can send their kids to college or buy a home in their 20s for us to stop now. We need your support to do more, to provide more opportunities for the infrastructure decade, to lift everyone into the middle class, to give everyone, as President Biden says, a little breathing room. Project labor agreements make all of this a reality. PLAs put the people who make construction a good middle-class career in the driver's seat. Now, next, I'm proud to introduce a veteran, a father, a first-year apprentice with the Operating Engineers, Local 37. Dante Todd is just one of our success stories, and we're excited to have him share his success story today. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon to you. My name is Dante, as he already explained. I'm honored to be here today, standing here before you as a first-time apprentice of Local 37 Operating Engineers. I grew up in East Baltimore, graduated from Patterson High School right down the street, and today, the progress we're fighting for, the changes we're making, this is very personal to me. I served our nation in the Army, and now I'm serving my community, myself, and most importantly, my family. I'm excited. My future with the Operating Engineers looks to be a great one. In fact, so many of the skills and traits I developed in my time in the service, they have already helped me find success within these trades, and it's really showing up. Show up on time and showing up for your brothers and sisters. The work each of us perform is all interconnected. We rely on one another. Even as a first-time apprentice already, appreciate the strong sense of community I found within the union. We don't just work well together, we're a family. And Governor Moore, thanks to you and your administration, you are setting us up for future success. Supporting project labor agreements is truly a no-brainer. PLAs are the only real way to level the field for contractors bidding for jobs. What's more, PLAs ensure that the rebuilding and revitalization of communities' infrastructure benefit the very people who work there, the families who live there, the children growing up there. Investments and infrastructure quickly become investments in people. People looking for a hand up, not a hand out. And the icing on the cake, PLAs are good for the client. They're good for business. With PLAs in place, jobs are completed on time without the need for change orders. As a lifetime Baltimorean, today is a special day. I'm already envisioning the great things to come because we have a governor and a president fighting to strengthen our middle class. When I left the military, I missed the camaraderie. That's the first and one of the reasons where I was so blessed to have found Local 37. I found a trade I love, people I trust and respect, work I'm proud of. Better yet, I'm already earning wages. Earn as you learn, as we call it. World-class training without, and I say again, without crippling debt. The apprentice training of our building trade union, better than I ever could imagine. It's powerful, provides the best education out there. It offers the most impressive wages and benefit. It creates an opportunity for workers to retire with dignity. And I know this to be true because I see how it set me up for success, and my family too. My 5 children can pursue their dreams, and I have their backs, thanks to the military and now the operating engineers. I'm a provider, and as a parent, there's no greater feeling. Most of you understand the value of our unions, and if you don't, I'm hopeful you soon will. For us to gather here today, talking about strong project labor agreements, about empowering minorities and women-owned businesses, it's clear to me that we're going to see growth. We're going to see progress, and we're going to get there together. Our next speaker, Stephanie Sweet, CEO of Bethel Electric, a union signatory contractor, is going to be part of this contractor, and I'm very honored to introduce her today.
Thank you, Dante. Hello, everyone. I am excited because I see such a large representation of orange, and it really brightens up the place today. So thank you for being here today. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Stephanie Sweet, and I am the CEO of Bethel Electrical Construction Company of Maryland, a company whose senior management team brings more than 75 years of combined industry experience to the table. My business partner, Michael Douglas, he joins me here today. Along with Ms. Abigail Douglas, who is my project administrator. Bethel was our brainchild. It was birthed more than 15 years ago. After spending 25 years in the military, I retired, and I retired as an Air Force major. And I transferred the skills and values that I had taken from my military experience to my business. And so I stand before you today as a proud veteran, a business owner, an achiever of the American dream. My life experience from the Air Force especially, it taught me that I was born to lead. It taught me that great things are ahead for me. Mike and I are so proud that what we have built at Bethel Electrical Construction. We create our business on a foundation of integrity. I like to think that's why we have often so many repeat customers, clients, and general contractors. When considering Bethel's success, a key pillar is our employees, their skill set and values, their work ethic. I must say my clients are happy. I must applaud all the hardworking men and women from IBW 24 and IBW 26. Thanks to IBW, Bethel has an impressive client list. I'm talking Fort McNair, I'm talking Andrews Air Force Base, Baltimore City Public Schools, Baltimore County Public Schools, and currently DGS in Annapolis at the Comptroller Building. So the list goes on. Through our relationship with IBEW, Bethel provides only the best and the brightest. Many members I recognize with us here today, and thank you for showing up and representing. Those who empower Bethel to draw on a well-trained, actually know the best trained, the safest, the most highly skilled and quality workforce. Thanks to IBW, Bethel has been able to scale our company's operations, put Maryland residents to work, and ensure projects are completed on time, just as Dante spoke to earlier, without the need, again, for change orders. See, it is the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers and all the trades that are represented here today. That's what matters. What these unions do is train today's and tomorrow's skilled workforce. They then help put these men and women to work, ensuring that they're earning family-sustaining wages and good benefits. But it doesn't stop there, ladies and gentlemen. The unions are active in our community. They're calling on elected officials to support critical policies like project labor agreements. Project labor agreements that allow a business like my own, small, minority-owned, women-owned, service-disabled-owned, to succeed. Some folks may wonder, why are we talking about PLAs? Why are you on this bullhorn, Stephanie? Why do you continue on? Simply put, it levels the playing field. So PLAs allow companies like Bethel to live out the values we care about most: integrity, service before self, and just like the trade says, values on display each and every day. So thank you, Governor Moore, for bringing us together in support of MBEs, specifically union signatory MBEs. As well as showing your commitment to PLAs for helping the little guy. Let me back that up. For helping the little lady, like myself. For helping the business like Bethel have a good dog in the fight. Look, construction is not for the faint of heart at all, and I've had some challenges along the way. It oftentimes is the David versus Goliath mentality, and too often the giant wins. But let me tell you, it's not because they're better. It's not because they're brighter, because I really would be very opposed to that. It's the obstacles that many small businesses may face, like paperwork, like licensing, like acquiring added capital, or unnecessary hurdles. By supporting PLAs, we are supporting change, progress. Supporting PLAs means supporting businesses like Bethel. It means helping working families and their communities. It means fixing our crumbling infrastructure, and doing so in a manner that allows local workers and companies to thrive. The future is bright, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not be mistaken. Bethel is getting to new industries, electrical vehicle charging, for example. And I look at where we are here today, looking at the Eastern Bus facility. It's been a staple in the community for quite some time. And now to see that it'll be converted into an electrical bus facility under the PLA. And I'm excited for that and looking forward. I'm here before you smiling from ear to ear. I am so excited because, man, I can't tell you how well Baltimore is doing. It is looking good. Not good, it is looking great. It is union strong, it is PLA strong, and so much more. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Comptroller Brooke Learman. I applaud the great work she has done to make life easier for minority-owned companies like mine and to promote good careers in the construction industry. She is a longtime friend of working families and an ally to the building trade unions. Thank you, Comptroller Learman.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. It's so great to be here. And Dante, we got to get you a tour of the new Patterson High School that I was so proud to represent as a state delegate. So great to be here with all of you. I haven't seen this much orange since the end of Orioles season, so it is a welcome sight, a very welcome sight. Yeah, yes, go Ravens. I had my purple on yesterday. It is so great to be here with all of you. I'm honored to serve as the 34th Comptroller of the state of Maryland, and it's such a pleasure to join our governor, our lieutenant governor, our secretaries, and all of you, Greg, Dante, Stephanie, and all of you out here to be here for this really important and pivotal announcement today. You know, when I took office, and please excuse my voice, at least I can talk today. Yesterday I couldn't talk at all. When I took office, we adopted a new vision in the Office of the Comptroller, to be a partner in creating a state that is more equitable, more resilient, and more prosperous, so that every Marylander can reach their full potential. And state procurement is a key part of doing that. We know that when we spend our tax dollars through state procurement, we have to do it in a way that is not just erecting and building structures, but is actually creating communities, creating jobs that are family supporting. And that's why we have to be working with our brothers and sisters in labor. Thank you. This workforce development executive order is one tool to do exactly that. You know, state procurement is a key economic driver in Maryland, and the contracts that come to the Board of Public Works, on which I'm honored to sit, include large transformational construction projects that spur local hiring, regional growth, and help power our state's economy. In fact, putting together our local, our state, and our federal procurement, it's 20% of Maryland's economy right now, a huge portion of it. And this order today, it aligns with our agency's vision for building a better Maryland. First, it ensures that we're using our procurement dollars to build a more equitable state. You know, right now, there are roughly 11,500 registered apprentices in Maryland, with women making up 8% and 43% identifying as persons of color. We know that we can and we must increase that, and we will through this order. Awarding, yes, applaud, we're gonna do it. Awarding contracts to MBEs like Bethel and supporting union labor in our state will boost our economy and will also help close the racial and gender wealth gap. We close this gap by providing access to competitive wages, valuable training, healthcare, and other opportunities that come from companies opting into this agreement. All the data shows that the median household income for union members is more than twice the wealth of non-union households. When we increase union membership, we help close the racial wealth divide in the state of Maryland. And we boost wages not just for jobs that are union, but for other jobs as well. There's an important effect across the entire economy that you are responsible for helping us make happen. So thank you. No, second, this executive order also supports the resiliency of our economy by reducing costs and risks of delays for critical projects. I'm not even going to get into the environmental benefits of the projects that we're going to be undertaking, but we also know that research shows that project labor agreements lead to less employee turnover, a stronger pipeline of skilled workers to fill jobs, and fewer safety issues and injuries that can force individuals to spend time away from work and affect their morale. This is a proactive action that is vital to prevent costly delays that push projects over time and over budget and cause us to miss opportunities that add value to our state and to our families and communities. And third, today we are demonstrating that investing in these building projects can lead to more prosperous communities. We do that through ensuring family supporting wages, health insurance, retirement benefits, and more that come through agreements like this. And we do that in partnership with our unions. The benefits that are included in these agreements are what keep our employees healthy and motivated to get to work every day and to know that they are building more than roads and bridges. They're building a better life, and not just for themselves, but for their kids and their grandkids. That financial security and important sense of purpose is just as important as the finished product. Finally, I want to make one more note. Today's federal dollars are competitive. We can't take for granted that we will be awarded money that we desperately need to maintain our current infrastructure, invest in continued community development, and attract more families and businesses to the state of Maryland. Our president recently signed an executive order at the federal level requiring project labor agreements for certain federal construction projects. Yes, yes. Ensuring that this workforce development order is in place makes Maryland stand out. It makes us more competitive for those federal dollars. It demonstrates that we can compete and win on the national stage and ensure the American people that Maryland will deliver quality work by well-trained, highly skilled workforce and receive the best value for our tax dollars. So I believe, fundamentally at the end of the day, and some of you have heard me say this, I believe that we all do better when we all do better. And I also know that we all do better when our unions do better. So this, this executive order helps make that happen. Thank you to all our partners here today for their leadership, and thank you, Governor Moore, for for taking this important step for Maryland. Thank you, everyone. And now, I am so excited to introduce my former colleague in the House of Delegates, our wonderful, amazing Lieutenant Governor Aruna Miller.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I got the memo, right? Yeah. And Governor Learman, it's always Oriole season here in Maryland, right? Thank you so much for your nice introduction. And I got to tell you, when it comes to the order of speakers, I'm going to give you 3 rules. 1, you never want to follow Governor Moore. Okay, so I'm glad that today I don't have to follow you, Governor. 2, you never want to come between a meal, right? Right between while you're about to speak and the meal is about to be served, you never want that spot. Number 3, you better keep it short and sweet when the weekend is right around the corner. And so happy Friday, everyone, and I will try to follow those rules the best I can. Thank you to the many exceptional speakers that you all heard from. To Greg, Dante, Stephanie, thank you for your service to our country, as well as Governor Moore, and to all the men and women who served our nation, thank you for your service. And I also want to thank all the members of the Moore-Miller administration, these exceptional leaders and secretaries that are here, and to all the workers that are here as well. And to the union leaders and building trade members, thank you. Thank you for making us so strong here in Maryland and union strong. And just for the record, you should all know I'm a former union member of NCGEO, so I am proud to be one of your brothers and sisters as part of the union. Look, the last time I was here is when we were celebrating and honoring our transit workers for the terrific work that they do each and every day. And earlier today, Governor Moore and I just announced our work zone safety group, right? And recommendations to make sure our construction workers are kept safe while they're on our roadways, not just for themselves, but also for the drivers that are on the roadway. We are so excited about this because no longer can we have a situation where drivers are crashing into our construction zones. As a matter of fact, already this year, we've had over 1,100 crashes in our construction zones, and this is unacceptable. You're talking about 3 crashes per day. We will not allow this to happen. We're going to strengthen our laws to make sure construction workers are protected from here onwards. Now, I don't need to tell any of you why PLAs are so important, but I'm going to tell you anyway, okay, for a couple of good things that come out of this. First of all, it provides fair union wages, right? And that's how you build middle class. And we improve worker health and safety on the job. And I think, Greg, you talked about that a lot, so that is so important. And we offer a high-quality apprenticeship and training program for workers. PLAs also encourage equitable employment opportunities by promoting local hiring in communities that are historically disadvantaged and underserved. And here's the thing, it will save taxpayers money by decreasing delays that often come with the result of labor shortages. So taxpayers benefit from this, workers benefit from this, that means Maryland benefits from this. So we are so excited about this executive order. And today is just another example how in Maryland, we will leave no one behind. And now it's my great honor to introduce an individual that doesn't require any introduction whatsoever, my friend, our leader, Governor Wes Moore.
Thank y'all, thank y'all. Hey. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I am beyond thrilled to be here today. This is the right way to go into the weekend. We're going to be sprinting into the weekend and smiling. And I tell you right now, this room makes me smile. It is good to be home, y'all. It is good to be home. And to our remarkable LG, first of all, that jacket is bad. I'm loving the orange. But we are so thankful for your leadership, for your vision, for your brilliance, and for your grace. We have the best lieutenant governor in the country here in Maryland, y'all, and we are grateful for him. And I have to tell you, to listen to these beautiful testimonials from my brother and my sister, both Stephanie and Dante, thank you for your continued service to all of us, because you have shown and demonstrated that service and a belief in your country and service and a belief in your community, that does not end once you take off a uniform, that it is a lifelong commitment, and y'all are committed to it, and we are grateful to have you here with us today and for all your leadership. God bless y'all. Greg, it's a joy to be here with you, brother. And I tell you right now, man, I believe deeply in this idea that progress does not happen. Progress is made to happen. Things don't happen just because. They don't just happen because time goes. They happen because you're intentional and you're deliberate. And your leadership is intentional and it's been deliberate and it is working. We are grateful for you and all the members, man. Bless you and thank you so much. Thank you. And we all know that nothing happens unless you're working in partnership, and having fantastic partnerships like our comptroller, Brooke Lim, and Brooke, it is great to be with you. And I tell you, it should not be lost on anybody that we can look here and see our fantastic leadership and fantastic cabinet secretaries for the state of Maryland right now. And when you have extraordinary leadership like our Secretary of State, Susan Lee, our Secretary of Transportation, Paul Wiedefeld, our DGS Secretary, Secretary Chaudhry, and our Labor Secretary, Secretary Wu. You know, it's important for people to know here, not only is this excellence, but this is a whole administration. We don't look at this work through a lane. We look at this work through a lens where everybody has a role. Everybody's leadership is going to matter, and everybody's involvement is going to help determine whether or not this state is making progress or not. We are grateful to each and every one of you, and it's fantastic to be on each and every one of your teams. God bless y'all, and thank you so much. Thank you. And I got to tell you, who watched the game last night? All right. So for those who did not get a chance to see it, the best team in the AFC North beat one of those other teams in the AFC North. And but there's something for all of our football fans. There's something that I believe in deeply, right? And that's hurry-up offenses. I like hurry-up offense. I like moving so fast that you never give the defense a chance to set itself. I like running plays, and before the defense can even get back to the line of scrimmage, we're running our next play. And then you do that, you run the next play. And you do that, and you run the next play. Hurry up offense, right? Keep it moving. And so when people think about the speed that the Moore Miller administration moves in, I just ask people to remember this. This is hurry up offense. And this is hurry up offense that we are going to do for 8 years. It's a hurry up offense that understands this. It's saying that coming out of the gate, and it's saying coming out of the gate and saying we are going to focus on increasing wages. We are going to make sure that our workers are getting a well-deserved raise, because never should be the case when we get individuals who are working jobs, and in some cases multiple jobs, and still not able to compete for them and their families. And then you turn around and say, and now we're going to make historic investments in apprenticeships and pathways. And Secretary Wu, I just want to say thank you, because not only do we have a remarkable, the best Secretary of Labor in the country, but one of the architects of National Apprenticeship Week, and we are watching this continue to grow in the state of Maryland. Not only are we making historic investments in apprenticeship programs, being able to reach down and create pathways for people to find the things that make their heart beat a little bit faster and to go after it. Increased training, increasing opportunities for not just training and skilling and reskilling, But then we turn around and say, well, you know what? We're still not done, because we got some work to do on PLAs too. Hurry up offense. And by the way, for all the skeptics and for all the people who said, well, you know, if you increase wages, it's going to actually decrease or depress employment. If you make it more, you're going to make it more difficult to hire people. But let's be very clear. Maryland right now has the lowest unemployment rate in the entire country. Do not tell me we cannot raise wages and also make sure we're making sure our people are employed. Hurry up offense. We move fast. But the reason we move fast is because we got the right team. You all, each and every one of you, you are not just the motivation, you are the inspiration. And frankly, when we're looking over here, we're not just seeing each and every one of you. We're looking at your families. We're looking at your legacies. We're looking at those who came before you, and we're looking at those who come after you. And I'm here to tell you right now, in this moment and this time, we will have your back now and always. And this time, we are going to be Maryland strong, because in this time, we are going to be Union strong. And for me, I want to be clear, this is very personal, because I come from a Union family. I would not be the 63rd governor of the state of Maryland had it not been for my Union family. When I think about the impact, and I always say very proudly, you know, when I say I come from a Union family, I mean that's tried and true. Now I say I come from a long line of preachers and teachers. I come from a long line of postal workers. I come from a long line of electricians. I come from a long line of operating engineers. We are talking about communities that were built with union hands. Families that were built with union hands. And so this work is very, very personal, because I know for a fact it was unions that built Baltimore. It was unions that built Maryland. And we are going to honor that legacy in everything that we do. Because just 4 days ago, I was here in Baltimore City with key members of the Biden administration. And let's be clear, y'all, we have a remarkable partner in the Biden administration in making sure we can get this work done. And it was just 4 days ago that I announced that the state of Maryland will work in partnership with the White House to ensure that federal projects in Baltimore operate under the highest possible labor standards. That was Tuesday. We're back on Friday. Hurry up offense, right? Because today I am proud that I will sign an executive order authorizing the use of project labor agreements and community benefit agreements for large-scale public works projects. And this order will also promote apprenticeship training programs and local hiring in high unemployment areas all throughout the city and all throughout the state. I know everyone here know what those words mean, but I want to make sure that folks at home understand what those words mean as well, and why today is so significant. Because this is a big moment for our state. This is a big moment for our economy. It's a big moment for our workers. It's a big moment for our families. And it's a continued fulfillment of a promise that the Lieutenant Governor and I made from the very beginning of our administration, and that was this: gone are the days of the false choices that people force us to make in politics. Those days are done. From day one, the Lieutenant Governor and I pledged to be intentional with our policies, and especially when it comes to expanding access to work, wages, and wealth. And not just for some, but work, wages, and wealth for all. Where we're not making a choice to support our workers or support our businesses. We can and we must do both. Because in the state of Maryland, we leave no one behind. And today's executive order is guided by those foundational principles and the mission of the Moore-Miller administration. This executive order will help ensure critical public works and infrastructure projects are done both on time and on budget. And to those who are listening at home and trying to understand what exactly that means, here's what it means. It means we are going to save taxpayer dollars that can be invested in other critical infrastructure programs that support all of our communities. That this executive order will help to ensure that we're building opportunities for Marylanders. Let me say that again. Building opportunities for Marylanders who want to build strong careers through pathways other than a four-year college degree. I want to be very clear. We have some of the best four-year colleges in America here in the state of Maryland. I also know this. We are going to end this myth that every single one of our students have to attend one of them in order to be economically successful. This executive order will help ensure that we benefit from the millions of dollars in new federal investments. Those projects will be built by union hands. Because today, I'm also proud to announce that under the leadership of our remarkable Secretary of Transportation, Paul Wiedefeld, that the Department of Transportation has already identified 9 projects as candidates for project labor agreements. So these projects, which by the way, they span all across the state, right? We're talking from Oakland, Maryland, Ocean City, and everywhere in between. That these projects represent more than $9 billion of investments that will generate more than 11,000 jobs, including 7,000 skilled trade jobs with high wages, benefits, and safe working conditions. And that MDOT has already identified projects in the Baltimore metropolitan region that are prime candidates for PLAs, to include the Baltimore Red Line and the Mondawmin Transit Hub project, to include projects at BWI Thurgood Marshall Airport and Martin State Airport, and to include replacement of the building that we are gathered in today, the Eastern Bus Division facility, home of the remarkable ATU Local 1300 drivers. Y'all got a new building coming. That's all right. And it'll be built by you too. And that's the way it should be. The facility that we're in today, which houses and provides critical maintenance for over 180 buses that service the Baltimore region. This building is over 80 years old. When we think about battery electrical buses that will enhance MDOT, MTA's capacity to operate, maintain, and charge its growing fleet of zero-emission buses, it's going to be here. This is its home. And we're going to make sure that they're built right. This project will allow MDOT to transition to a zero-emissions bus fleet, provide a safe and an efficient workspace for employees, and improve quality of life for all residents. And yes, we can applaud that. And it will be built by local, diverse, and skilled workforce with high wages and strong benefits. So this executive order is a game changer. And we do know that every project is going to be different, and it's not going to be a mandate. We want to encourage project labor agreements. We want project labor agreements on our projects because we know that we will work closely with agencies to ensure that the use of project labor agreements are in the state's best interests. We also know this will not impede our non-union or our minority contractors. In fact, this executive order that I will sign today requires that any PLA-designated project outlines plans on how it will support and not impede our state's MBE goals. And that any PLA project must also include diversity and outreach plans to ensure that disadvantaged communities can gain access to employment and also access to contracts. And also, this executive order that I will sign today, this is not zero sum. We aren't choosing between our workers and our businesses. We cannot and we must not get stuck in these false choices. We can and we will do both. Maryland is going to be a national model in how we utilize project labor agreements, community benefit agreements, apprenticeship programs, and local hiring in a way that saves taxpayer dollars, grows wealth in disadvantaged communities, and boosts profits for small and minority businesses. So I want to be very clear. What we are going to sign today, there is no state in the country with an executive order like this one. Once again, Maryland is setting the pace. And our leadership on this issue does matter. Not just because we're going to be the first, even though it is nice for Maryland to be the first, but because when we make the choice to partner with labor, we change lives. We change lives like Jason Williams. Oh man. At the age of 29, and we spoke about this before, Jason said he made some mistakes, and he was sentenced to prison. He was incarcerated for nearly 12 years. After his release, he took place in an apprenticeship program, took an apprenticeship test, and was accepted into Steam Fitter 602. The steam fitters and this program reminded us and reminded Jason that second chances should actually mean something. And Jason is now a fifth-year apprentice. He lives in Montgomery County, and he is with us today. Jay, it is great to be with you, man, as always. Can you please stand up so people can see you? Thank you for continuing to be an example for all of us. For all of us, for our entire community, for my children, for our families. Because together, this is what progress is going to look like. Because the work that you are going to do is not just going to benefit the individual projects that you're on. The work that you are going to do and the supports that you will have for yourself and your whole family, it's going to make us all stronger. We are winning, Maryland, because we're winning together. And again, this is a hurry-up offense, and we are just getting started. So, with that, I'm ready to get to signing. So I'd like to invite Lieutenant Governor Miller, Secretary Lee, our Comptroller Lehrman, our cabinet members, and representatives from the building trades to join me at this table as we get this executive order signed. It's our time, y'all.